sure you keep diving into concrete. So bittersweet, huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Harder keeps the heat when it gets colder. You know, sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Harder keeps the heat when it gets colder. You know, sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby, ooh. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby, ooh. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby, ooh. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. Keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby.
This is too smooth. I honestly didn't even really want to say anything on this, but that's what the people want. That's what I came here for. So we're gonna get into it. I like my coffee black, wife too. Don't turn this to no controversy. It's my boo. I can make $250,000 off a haiku, and I can make another quarter off it times two. If it's money on the table, I'll be on it like Bobby or Epic. You peep the aesthetic, it's hard to forget it. I hear you talking, but you're hardly right. I'm the voice of your prototype. Summertime and then why? Yeah. Summertime and then why? It's too cool. Get the drop tops out. Summertime and then why? It fits right. Yeah. Bottles over here. Yeah. Summertime and then why? Summertime and then why? I'm talking 6 a.m. tea times. 18 with the mayor talking land banks. I waited for it, gotta get mine. Snack a seat up at the table if my man can't. Heading to a meeting, we're familiar with no briefcase. Just my mind in a free state. I got a plan through a vision, but it takes time. I'ma make mine. Summertime and then why? Yeah. Summertime and then why? Yeah. You know the drill by now. Summertime and then why? Get everything together, get the squad together, get the gang together. Summertime and then why? Summertime and then why? Started in the back office, now I run the front. Call the shots, make the deals, know the deal, know what's up. Too much for the books, then I put it in a tuck. Too much for the tuck, then I give it to my love. Once I make $1 million, man, $1 million won't be enough. Watch you fake the struggle while I get it off the hush. Now it's jet blue miles, Rolex dials, frowns turn to smiles. Summertime and then wild. Now to come to an end. Summertime and then wild, and it falls upon us. I want you to bring that energy in the wild and run that thing back. Yeah. Until next year. Summertime and then wild. Yeah. And wild. Summertime and then wild. Yeah. Be gone.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook land? How y'all doing? It's your boy JD, aka Mr. December, and we back with another video y'all are guaranteed to remember. Hey, I'm trying to make sure I'm in focus here. Let's see. Make sure your boy's in focus here. Make sure my light is good. I think everything is good. How y'all feeling? Welcome back to the channel. Yo, Orange Pill Nerds, man. You can hit the link that's pinned to the top of the chat anytime you get ready to come up, my brother. Yo, it's your boy JD. We back with another video that y'all are destined to remember, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. It's good to be here, y'all. Anybody else glad to be here besides me? Listen, it is a good day. A good day to be alive, just like every day is a good day to be alive. You heard? Listen, I don't know what time zone you're in. I don't care what time zone you're in. I don't care what part of the world you are in, y'all. It is always summertime in NY, y'all. It is always summertime in NY. I need a document really quickly. I got to pull up here. Here it is. Y'all, what are we talking about today? Y'all? About 2 weeks ago almost now, I had a conversation over on another YouTube channel. The name is Themis and Thoth, right? And it was a pretty good conversation. It was interesting nonetheless. Yo, they tried to eat your boy up. Like, they weren't trying to hear anything I had to say. But y'all, I had a conversation and I was very shocked at what happened on this live stream. But we're going to get right into it. But before we do, I want to give a shout out to all of my supporters, all of my day one supporters, people like the Orange Pill Nerds, people like the Fish and Spot Reviewer, people like Eugene Steele, people like my man Cool Cat, all the way over on the other side of the pond. He tries his best to tune in to support your boy. And then I have to give a very, very special shout out, last but not least, to my lovely and beautiful wife. She is always supporting me. Shout out to my wife, Gabrielle. Love you, darling. Yo, I need to tell y'all about the replay viewers. If you're watching this on the replay, please put your comments down below. Let us know what you think. Let's get the conversation started, right? And y'all see this book over here? I think my camera angle is a little bit off. But anyway, y'all, I wrote a book. It is a brief devotional called God's Remedy for Anxiety. And you see your boy has written this book. Let me show y'all the back of it. Isn't that a good picture? Oh, let's look. Y'all see, that's a good picture. And y'all, the reason I wanted to write this book is because being somebody that has struggled with anxiety and depression in life, y'all, it's rough being a man out here in 2023. It's rough being out here, period. But I'm a man, so coming from a man's point of view, we don't always get the resources that we need, or we don't always get the safe spaces that we need to open up to where we can still be men and to where that won't be used against us, right? So I wanted to do something to show the men that there is a way to navigate through life. There is a way to navigate through your issues, and I am here to help you find it. Y'all, the link to my book is down in the description. You can find it on Amazon as well as Barnes and Nobles. If you hit me on the Cash App with $13, I will personally sign and send you a copy of my book, y'all. Just let me know where you want to send it, where you want me to send it in the Cash App, and I will surely do that. Y'all, the Facebook group is down in the description as well. If y'all want to join that, please feel free to do so. And last but not least, we gotta get the show going. But y'all, I have opened up a membership for this channel. Right? We have one membership tier. And what you will get with that membership tier is status updates from me, exclusive pictures that you won't be able to find anywhere else. I'll share a little bit more personal things with y'all. And if that goes well, we'll up the ante, right? We'll do another tier to where I'll give you access to some personal blogs of mine. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it, y'all. What did we talk about over there? Let me tell y'all how this all started. Y'all, about a year ago, right? I went up on Priscilla's show. I believe it's called the High Powered Podcast. And her and I were debating on the topic of men are incapable of love. Y'all, the Priscilla lights tried to rip me up, chew me up, and spit me out. They didn't want to hear anything I was saying, y'all. All they knew was I was a man and I was a man. That's all they knew. So some time went by. I let it breathe a little bit. I did some reviews on that video, but then I hit Priscilla up and I said, "Yo, I want to review some of your content. Do you mind if I do it?" She said, "No, sir. Please go ahead." So what ended up with just supposed to be me reviewing some of her content, I sent her the link to the YouTube video, and then I also sent her the link to the backstage just in case, she came up, wanted to come up and present her point of view, because I'm all fair over here, y'all. I'm not 100% echo chamber, but we got to do it respectfully. So anyway, Priscilla ended up coming up, and she brought the crowd with her, y'all. She brought the crowd with her. Oh my goodness. If you have not watched that live stream, y'all need to go back and watch it. Y'all need to go back and watch it and pray for your boy. You understand? So after that, we were talking about independent women. So I got an email from Themis and Thoth. I had never heard about that YouTube channel ever in life. But I glanced over some of the content and I said, you know what? I believe I'll go over there in good faith and have the conversation. I, believe that it would be fair, and it wasn't. So then I had another brother hit me up in the inbox. He said, "Yo, JD, I saw, man. I saw you haven't brought it back up, but I think it'll be a good idea for you to review the Themis and Thoth video that you did." And he said he had a couple of points that he wanted to bring out, and I have some points I want to bring out as well. Y'all know I got some exhibits. Y'all know I got some exhibits. Your boy stay with some exhibits. You understand? But right now, I have them backstage. I want to bring up my man, the Orange Pill Nurse. Y'all give him some love. What's up, Orange Pill?
What's going on with you? What's going on, JD?
Man, not much, man. I am so glad you were here. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I got a week off from work.
Okay,
I
good.
worked a lot last week. I picked up some days.
Good, good, good. That's what's up, man. Y'all, if y'all didn't know, this brother is a hang on, let me do something real quick. Let me put these names up. So Orange Pill is a registered nurse. He is a real life nurse. So
Yeah.
that's what's up. You don't see many brothers in the nursing field, man. So shout out to you. I joke with my wife all the time. She was in the medical field as well, And
Yeah.
I joke with her all the time. It takes special people to be in the medical field, man. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I do numbers.
No,
So
yeah. I'm sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. No, you good. I was just saying, man. I do numbers. I can't do the blood and
Yeah.
and all that stuff, the needles and sticking people, man. So I respect y'all, man, a lot for what y'all do. So thank you so much for your service, man. So you saw the video that we did with Themis and Thoth, man. What were some of your initial thoughts about that?
Well, just a little background with Themis himself, like me and my interactions with him. Uh, he like his channel. Like when I first went on, initially I was getting it like into like debates. I think I first initially kind of got into it with the pink pill was on there.
Mm-hmm.
I got into it with her, and then like I was trying to figure him out because he's a guy and he's
Mm-hmm.
got all these women around him. And it's like a women's channel. It's a safe space for women. So I'm
Right.
trying to figure out what's his angle in all this. And then as I got to know him, like got to not know him more, but got to watch how he interacts with men versus
Mm-hmm.
women, particularly black men, because he has some. I've watched him. I've kind of watched. I've been on there and I've watched, observed just his tactics, how he's framing questions and all that stuff. And I find it's find it very disingenuous. A lot of majority of it. That's why I kind of
Mm-hmm.
like it got to the point where he was like, when I would go on there, because I started to figure him out as
Mm-hmm.
far as kind of like why he's saying things and certain things. So I kind of anticipate what he's about to say before he said it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to more like, oh, like how you're winning an argument, people start doing personal attacks, right?
Right. Right.
So it kind of went like, oh, you're probably not a nurse. Oh, you probably don't own a house. Oh, you're probably not even married. Oh, you're a fake wife. Like, it's like, wait a minute, what are we talking about here? So it went away from that to more of those kind of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more so like he thinks things theoretically a lot, which is
Mm-hmm.
good to have theoretical things about assumptions about, based on this and that and the third. But the unlived experiences that he has, that he doesn't have, kind of shows up. It's like, okay, you can theorize how this is going to work, or how marriage works, but you're not in a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have any marriage experience. I don't think his mother was married. I think his father was deadbeat or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
like, it's more so, and that's not a problem or anything like that. But like, you don't have any lived experience. You advocate for women, but you don't. You're not. I don't even know. Like, not to shame or anything like that. But I think even by his own admission, he's not. He's not into women. So it's like, okay, so what do you have no dog in this fight? So what is to gain from black women on this? Just to just keep talking about black men all day?
Mm-hmm.
So like a lot of bad faith arguments, a lot of bad faith. And I noticed a lot while watching your video, kind of that continued a lot of points. And he kind of, he starts, because you as a pastor and an older man and a married man, married to a black woman at that,
Mm-hmm.
I come with you with I'll come to you to learn, not to preach at you,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
talking to you, not at you, like, oh, well, you're wrong about this, you're wrong about that. Based off of what? You don't have any experience with anything. So I go by like, I'm coming to you for advice. I'm not coming here to you to teach you anything, even though we all can learn from each other. But like, it's the way you ask the question, the way you respond to certain things. Like, wait a minute, guy. We could theorize all day about stuff, about this, could be this, that, and the third, but you don't have any lived experience. There's only so much you can talk. Just like me, there's only so much I can talk about a topic before I'm like, wait, I don't really know everything about it.
Right, right, right.
So,
And
okay.
I respect you on that because I'm the same way. I'm always the first to say I don't have all of the answers. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But we can have a dialogue and a discord, and we can talk about it respectfully, and come to a solution. I'm sorry to cut you off. Please keep going.
No, you're right. I was
Mm.
no. So there were things, and I timestamped a lot of things, just kind of things he was saying. Like there's definitely some gaslighting on his end. There was a moment where you talked and you dinged him on some stuff, so he kind of had to like gaslight when you
Right.
talked when you talked about the custody.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about black men, you know, the custody that they don't get custody as much as black women do. Then
Mhm.
he didn't refute it, but his response was, "Do you think black men want custody of their children?" Now that's gaslighting.
Exactly.
That is
Exactly.
gaslighting 101. What does that got to do with anything?
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
what does that mean when you say that? You know,
Right.
that's
Right.
gaslighting 101. And I'm like, and I've had interactions with him where he won't concede to the point, even if it's
Right.
something minuscule. So
Mhm.
like, just a quick example, me and him were having a discussion about, I forgot what it was originally about. But he was saying, like, he said in my home, because I was talking about me and my wife, I pay part of the bills, right?
Mhm.
I said no, I pay majority of the bills.
Mhm.
So he wanted to get into the semantics about part and majority being the same exact word. Now, Mr. JD, if I tell you, hey, I'm going to do majority of the work versus I do part of the work, which one sounds like more?
The majority.
Yes. And he kept saying, no, majority and part of the same thing. So we actually went to go look at the definition, right? I
Mhm.
said, we looked up majority. Majority, by a simpler definition, says a bigger part.
Mhm.
Now, he said, I was like, now wait a minute. What he said, oh, part is in the definition, therefore part and majority are the same thing. Now,
Mhm.
now basically, and I'm like, people on there like like his, and we can get it. We're going to get into
Mhm.
his Themis fans and a little bit, who were kind of questioning you. One of them said, "Oh, Did you go to your timeline? He looking kind of sweet in one of the pictures." I'm like, "What?" Or whatever they said. They basically saying, "Yeah, I saw one of them." The commentators, the live chat is very interesting. So his fans, they kind of like die hard no matter what. So they're like trying to clown me on majority and part, knowing that you can't, as far as like grammar, majority and part can't be used the same way. You
Right.
can't say, like, you can't say part of the judges voted on this bill.
Mhm.
You can say majority of the judges, part can't be used in a plural sense. But
Mhm.
we were having this unnecessary argument, which you should just concede the point, because first of all, you don't even pay any bills in my house. You tell me part majority the same thing when they're not. So
If that be the case, one of the arguments is the whole 50-50 thing. Oh, well,
yeah,
I'm paying part, right? Or you can't say, I know there's been some political people that's tried this in the past, but you can't say, well, I got part of the votes, I should win.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't get the majority, but I got the same amount of votes because I got part of them. I should win.
exactly. We don't use those two words, same thing. Somebody saying part majority is a portion regardless. That's not the point that I was making when we were talking.
Right.
If the point was that I pay majority of bills, not part of the bills, and that should be it. Like if I'm him, I'm like, okay, yeah, you okay, you pay majority bills, okay, got it. But he wants to argue about part and majority being the same exact amount, or it can be used the same way when they can't. English grammar will not allow it, regardless. But nobody thinks majority and part are the same amount. Nobody uses part. Well, I'm gonna use part instead of majority. Like, no, nobody does that. But it's like no concede to the point for whatever
Mhm.
reason. So, but yeah, I wanted to break down a lot of like I said, you got him on a lot of points, but he responded with gaslighting and straw mans and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
disingenuous, bad faith kind of comments. And that was also bad faith that he said, like, "Oh, do you think that black men really want custody of their kids?" Like, what? But
Oh, that
what?
was terrible.
And then he had some weird point he was making. He made some weird point about, and that's actually a whole nother thing about the whole. What was that? He said the poor man's divorce.
Yeah, the poor man's marriage or the
I got
poor
a whole
man's
lot to say
divorce.
about that.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was the fact that um, men weren't married. His point was men weren't marrying women, which was totally false. And then the poor man's divorce is just to leave.
Yeah, you made a good point initially. You were saying that that black people were married at 80% rate, and then
Right.
he didn't refute it.
Mm.
But his response was, "Did you ever hear about the poor man's divorce?"
Which
That was his
had
point.
nothing to do with it.
Yeah, well, he quoted page 34 of the Moynihan report where it talked about poor man's divorce in one little part
Mm.
where it basically, because hold on a second, because I was like, yo, poor man's divorce, what is he talking about? So poor man's divorce was created, it was kind of concept was kind of created during the Great Depression where when unemployment was 25% overall.
Mm.
So a lot of men, not just black men, a lot of men were just traveling hobos, just going somewhere to work. You ever seen that movie
Mm.
of Mice and Men?
Yes, yes.
It's the same thing. That's
Mm.
men were like they were too broke to divorce, but they had to work somewhere, so they left home and
Right.
just traveled, worked, whatever, like that. So that's where that
Mm.
comes from. He talked about, oh, the poor man's divorce is basically women being abandoned. No, 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 it's not that like that. So the Moynihan report, there was a guy named Duncan McIntyre. The whole poor man's divorce thing he's talking about. It
Mm.
said underemployment of black men and higher employment under black women was pretty much what was going on, and it was more so like it talked about the underemployment of black men and like the higher employment of black women as far as that being like what the goal was. Like it was more like society, or they were more going towards employing black women more. And
Mm.
then it enlarged the mother's roles under making many families matriarchal.
Mm.
Black women, black men's uncertain employment prospects, matriarchy, and the high cost of divorces combined to encourage desertion. Poor men's divorce, increasing number of couples not married, increasing black unwed childbirth. So he took that one little piece that said poor men's
Mm.
divorce, even though they talked about matriarchy and the uncertain employment of black men. He took that one
Mm.
little part. And also on that page, it was like he took this one little cherry picking as well. He took this. There was also on that page, there was something written about Whitney Young saying in matriarchal black families, mothers made sure the daughters had chances for higher education. Black males made to feel inadequate because a man is measured by his money. He then started to withdraw from society, get involved in drugs, crime, and stuff like that. So it's very interesting. He missed all that. That's all on the same page. He cherry picked the poor man's divorce in one little part. So wait a minute, you didn't mention all that, and that was Whitney Young was executive director of National Urban League. He said that.
Mm.
And also, like I said, there was a white social psychologist on that same page that said black wife can easily become disgusted with her financially dependent husband. Her rejection of him alienates him from family life. Embittered by their experiences with men, many black mothers often act to perpetrate the mother-centered pattern by taking greater interest in their daughters than sons. Where was all that in that? He left
Right.
that all out. That's on the same page as that one little poor man's divorce. He left all that out.
And did not mention that.
Yeah, he's just
Didn't I
glossing
say
over
that?
it. You kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, I think, yeah, you did mention that.
Yeah,
But
I did. I even used my grandparents and my ancestors as an example because it actually happened.
yeah,
My grandma got to go to seventh grade while my grandfather only got to go to third. You
exactly.
understand what I'm saying?
But even
So
him just mentioning the poor man's divorce to the 80s, so is he insinuating that? And then, it's funny you brought up like where are the numbers on this, right? You basically said, okay, so the numbers high or what? He said, well, I don't know the numbers, but you can't. But they mentioned it, so that means it must be some significance. So he has no numbers. He mentioned poor man's divorce. He got no numbers on it. You got no numbers on it, but it's his point he's trying to bring up
right.
as a rebuttal. But he got no points on it. But then later on, he's telling you brought up something I forgot. He was like, well, you shouldn't bring that up because you don't have the numbers on it. But you didn't have the numbers on poor man's divorce.
Right.
You brought up something later. I forgot what it was.
Was it
And he was like, well, I wouldn't bring that up if I didn't have the numbers to it.
I think we started talking about was it education and the marriage rate
It was something
of
you were
women.
saying, and you didn't have the numbers necessarily, but he was kind of like finger wagging, kind of saying, "Well, you don't have the numbers on that, so I wouldn't bring that up." But you didn't have numbers on poor man's divorce, but you brought it up.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, so that was the poor man's divorce thing was very interesting because on that same page it talked a lot about women basically punishing men for not making enough, and then letting their like intentionally putting more focus on their daughters in education than their boys because their bitterness towards their men for not making enough. So he
Mm-hmm.
left all that out on that same page. He got the one little line about poor man's divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very
Right.
interesting. He left all that out in his take. But I mean, we could. That's kind of just something I want to talk about. But like, I don't know if you wanted to like break down the video. You had some things that
Well,
you saw.
I want it was a few things that I wanted to point out. Well, before we get into this actual video, one thing that I really did not appreciate, and this is where I think that the disingenuous behavior started to come out,
Mm-hmm.
is toward the end when I said that I listened to Kevin Samuels, right?
Mm.
And he asked me, "Did do I think that all black people are ugly?" And I
I think
was
I might have
like,
missed that part. I'm sorry,
I
but
was
go ahead.
like, "No, absolutely not." And part of his argument was when Kevin Samuels brought up, I think it was a New York Times article saying that black women were the least desirable for marriage.
Yeah.
He used that, cherry picked that, and tried to twist it and tried to say that Kevin Samuels thought black women were ugly.
Oh,
And if I
I hear
listen
that
to
all the time.
Kevin Samuels, then I thought black people were ugly too, and that's absolutely not what I was saying. That's not what Kevin Samuels said at all. Matter of fact, before I
He
get to
tried to
this
tie it
video,
to lead attorney. We could talk about that too. He tried to do the same thing. Oh, lead attorney
right,
example. But go ahead.
right. So I wanted to bring up this video that I found with Kevin. I don't know who.
I've been trying to find a full video of that same thing, but it keeps, like I said, it keeps. He also likes to use things out of context, almost intentionally. Where he's
Mhm.
like, "Oh, well, he said this," but he won't give the context of what he said. He clearly didn't just say black
Right,
women are attractive and also. But he's like, "Well, he said it, but like, what's the context?"
exactly,
Well, I can't give you
and there
context because
was
that's going to defeat my point.
exactly, and again, there was no context behind it. The context that I saw about that was um, about the New York Times article that I think the lead attorney reviewed it too, and I wish I could find it, but I could not find
Yeah,
that particular article. But I did find other studies suggesting that just because black women were the least the demographic that is the least married, right?
yeah,
So that's not to say that, oh, black people are undesirable and they're ugly. No,
yeah,
that's not what the context was of the attitudes, the high
yeah,
expectations, the unrealistic expectations. I mean, we've heard it from dating coaches. April Mason has said it.
yeah,
What was the first lady's name that came out and said Olivia Lynn Pope?
yeah.
She came out and said it, and that's part of the reason behind it. But everybody likes to say, not everybody, a lot of people like to say that Kevin Samuels hated black women or hates black women. So
Hmm.
I want to bring up this particular clip, and it actually says, "Does Kevin hate black women?" It's time stamped. Hang on 1 second. We got a struggle stream for just a minute.
Controversies I tend to hear is I hate women. Kevin Samuels hates women. He's a misogynist. He's a misogynist and he hates black women in particular.
Who hurt you? This is where the whole sign language came from. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. Keep the lights up, folks.
And how many times have we heard that? How many times did I see that in the chat? Just because we're speaking of experiences from productive black men.
Yeah, I mean, I've had women in the. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, please.
I've had women will say stuff like, because I'm a nurse, right? I've seen them in comments. Well, he ain't no nurse practitioner. I'm like, what? What's that got? Like I ain't no nurse practitioner. What does that got to do with anything?
They have to keep moving the goalposts, man.
I gotta shame you somehow, you know.
Somehow that sign language, man.
Yeah,
it always reminds me of Charlie Brown. You know, whenever he went to go kick the football, and then she moved it every time. That's how they do, man. That's how they.
But
do.
They try to say, well, I'm coming. You know, they try to like initially when you came in. What's name started, they try to like get you all riled and being polite and say, oh, have the floor. But then he started turning.
And then he wouldn't let me have the floor.
Yeah, it was going to turn eventually. I've seen so many people come on there and they don't know what's about to hit them. Mm-hmm. I wish I could warn people, do not go on his show. It's going to be bad faith. He said, oh yeah, just if people who are opposite of my talking points, they can come on and feel free to change my mind. But he's spending the whole time just trying to if we can't argue about the word part majority,
right?
And we can't get to even the bigger stuff,
right?
But yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about it. Do I hate you? Oh, first day with the new lips. I normally don't do ice in the Red Bull, but this is going to be hot here tonight. So, what I find interesting is how disingenuous and how bad faith so many of my critics and detractors are.
Sound familiar?
Mm-hmm. You and anybody can make anyone look bad by taking a clip. Let me take a highlight reel of your life, and I guarantee you I can make you look like shit. If you've had a career in anything, there are highlights and lowlights, and if people can string together your bloopers, misspeaks, changes in position, whatever. And see, I'll tell you this one thing in the black community, we have this bad. We act like people cannot evolve over time or have changes in positions as more information comes in. I'm going to tell you right now, my positions are subject to change and evolve with new information. If that's not how you rock, if you one of these, I said it 2 + 2 was 4 in 1915 and it's the same today, then go somewhere else. Over here, we are people of math. We are people of language. We are people of study. We are people who take our ideas and we'll put them out in the marketplace, challenge them, tweak them, and bring back and make a new, better product. So when someone says, well, wait a minute, there was a time where you said something over here about this, and now you're saying...
Hang on. I got. Usually I wouldn't do this, but I'm assuming she's talking about the word disingenuous. That's what I'm assuming. So she says, so that's where the word came from.
Are they talking about sign language? Is that what they think they're talking about?
No, I think they're talking about disingenuous, because earlier in the chat somebody said, "Oh, it looks like he learned a new word." You know
oh my God!
So let me just let y'all know, Kevin Samuels did not invent the word disingenuous. If you go to your dictionary and look, the word is in there, and it's been in there for a long time.
Yeah.
Just because it might be a new word to you, that doesn't mean that this is where the word came from. I just wanted to bring that up. Real quick. I mean, come on, man. Uh-oh. I messed up.
I don't even know where you were at, actually. I don't know.
This got timestamp, so.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Shaquille O'Neal, one of the most dominant big men of all time. The majority of men want to be in relationships, and they want
Can you
women.
pause that real quick?
So as a
Sorry.
Yeah.
Why didn't he say the part of men?
The majority.
He didn't say the part of men. Why didn't he say the part of men? Isn't that the same thing?
You know what? I think it is supposed to be the same thing. It's part and majority. Anyway,
I'm
but
saying that sarcastically,
yeah,
obviously. I'm
yeah,
not.
absolutely, absolutely.
Real
I'm
quick, I
with
just had
you.
to throw that in there.
Yeah, I'm picking
I
up what
got
you
you.
put down.
I got you.
So,
Sorry.
and here's the thing. I'm glad this part came up because over here, this is what I'm an advocate for the men that want to be in relationships,
Yeah.
right? I'm not speaking of the Pookies and the Ray Rays and the ones that want to be players at some point.
Yeah.
Any man of standing, the men that a lot of women say that they want, those men, the majority want to be in a
Yeah.
relationship with a black woman.
Mhm.
Let's keep going.
competent professional, I am going to serve the market. Just like when I was image consultant for men and I image consult for women, I am a professional. And if you know a professional, they can do their job. Go ask your doctor, do you really care about your doctor's political beliefs? Do you care about his religious beliefs? Or do you care that he can actually help you get well? So let's start out number one. I am a consultant, coach, consultant. I'm not a man of God. I believe in God, but I'm not a man of the cloth. I am not a therapist.
I'm a PhD.
I'm not a therapist. I'm not a clinician. I have extensive study in the human mind, sociology, psychology, anthropology, but that's for my own edification and some training behind those scenes. But I often recommend people to clinicians. So number one, if you ever hear someone saying that he should have did this instead of that, tell them he is a consultant. He's a coach. He's a consultant. He's not here for your feelings. Raise your hand if you've ever played any sports. If you've ever played any sports or any martial arts, anything like that, I want you guys to think about Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, one of the most dominant big men of all time. But he was not the best free throw shooter. I guarantee you, when Shaquille O'Neal humbled himself to get help on the free throws, the coach didn't go in and say, "Come on, big guy, do it this way." Good coaches know how to put their foot square in your shoulder blades and insert their foot square up your butt to get production.
Now, men, we understand these concepts. You understand?
Mhm.
Because we have to be productive members of society. Now,
Right.
the point that I want to, the thing that I want to point out is that Kevin said that he is an image consultant, right? He's a consultant. He
Right.
works with your image.
Right.
One thing that he said that a lot of women did not like was the fact that a lot of women were overweight and a lot of women needed to lose weight.
Right.
If you go to your doctor and your doctor tells you that you need to lose weight, and your doctor tells you that you're over your BMI, and if your doctor tells you that you're obese, are you going to say that your doctor hates you? He's telling
No,
you
you're not.
something that can help you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like the analogy he was making with the sports coach or the martial arts, which I did both coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are times where you have to have correction and it has to be tough correction.
Right.
But you know what you do? You take it on the chin and it makes you better.
Yes.
Why is it that people don't want to be better? And I think she just left, but I don't know if you can see the private chat, man. But anyway,
Uh-oh.
anyway, man, these people are ruthless, man. And some of them I just don't think there's any getting through to them. I
Wow.
really don't. I was just about to bring. Oh, she came back. I was just about to bring up. Will you
Oh Lord.
please flash your camera, China? I hope I'm saying that right. And when I say flash your camera, I need to see your face. I'll allow you to turn your camera back off. I just need to see your face to make sure we don't have any
True.
trolling going on. Please. Oh, let me see what. YouTube is not my career, please. Okay, that's absolutely fine. I just need to see your face.
Simple instructions, right?
You're not coming up unless I see your face. TT, I see you in the back. Will you please flash your camera so I can see your face? Make sure. Okay, she left. Okay,
Oh
so
wow, that's apparently too much to ask, I guess.
the link is in the chat, y'all. You can come up, and now all of them are gone.
He said, "Oh crap, I gotta show who I am."
all I'm asking,
That's funny.
is if you come up, if you hit the link, you come backstage. I just need to see your face backstage so I can make sure there's no trolling or no funny business going on to try to get my channel taken down. You know, we've gotten privy to those
So
things over
so
here.
wait a minute, China, who's back there cursing and talking big and bad, can't show her face. She talking about bye. No, bye to you. You don't want to show your face. I mean,
Right. And here's another thing. Here's another thing. You know, I like to tell the truth over here. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
But at the same time, I've always been respectful to people. I've never gotten on here and called people out of their names. I've never gotten on here and cursed people out. I've never gotten on here and yelled at people. So how come we a couple of weeks ago we had some respectful dialogue back and forth? Why can't we do the same thing today? These are the same people that got the most to say, but then when it's time to come, they run off. I flashed my camera. You didn't see my face. You don't need to see my face. That's why I asked you to flash your camera so I could see your face to make sure that you don't have
yeah,
some kind of anything queued up that will get my channel taken down.
yeah. Why don't Pumpkin Spice come up? Well, she don't want to flash either. Was she in the back?
I don't know. No, she wasn't in the back. It was China and TT. Look, I'm here to look. We can be respectable. I tell the truth.
Well, all
I
I would say
just,
this right now. All the Themis fans hate me, honestly,
well, I
because
mean, apparently they hate me too,
they
which
hate
is
you. Yeah,
fine.
for sure.
Which is fine. Seeing the face me, I just told y'all what that means. I literally just told you. You don't.
They,
If I when
it's
I bring
simple
you up,
instructions. I mean, why do you need to like? It's like, well, why do I need to show my face? Why do you do this? When you go on Themis channel, you'll go up there. Well, some of y'all, a lot of y'all actually don't show your faces on there. Y'all have
mm,
y'all thing, but
in which you don't have to show your face coming when I bring you up. I just need to see it backstage to make sure everything is on the up and up. Brief second, in and you're out. It was some other Princella people that came on a couple weeks ago. They were respectful. They flashed their camera, cut it off, and I brought them right up, and we had the dialogue.
hey, remember that episode of Kevin Samuels where the woman was talking about smiling is offensive?
Yes.
It's offensive for you to ask them to show their face on the camera.
Well, apparently, it's offensive for a black man to ask them anything.
To follow instructions of your own channel. You didn't ask them to flash anything but their face.
Right.
They act like you asked them to flash all kinds of stuff.
Right. I just need to see your face like this.
It's like, why I need to do it and buy B like,
Right.
but
Look,
the problem is us though. The problem is us.
Right.
If I can't get you to flash your camera just to show your face real quick, I ask you to flash nothing else but your face, and that's a problem. You gotta tell me buy B and all this stuff and why I gotta do it. We can't even get to the other stuff between that are conflicts between black men and black women. So this was almost like a good study test. And we'll get into, I wanted to talk about Themis' studies too, by the way.
Look, this all you had to do. Literally. That's
Well, I
all
don't
I'm
want y'all to
asking
see
y'all
me.
to do.
Y'all don't want. I don't want y'all to see my face. Y'all can judge me, and then all that stuff or whatever. I don't know.
Right. Because, I mean, like I said, it's the,
A lot of faceless avatars talking a lot of stuff. I
right.
mean, so much.
It's the same ones. They talk so much stuff, and then when it's time to put up, they tuck tail and run and hide.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Y'all keep doing that. It's all right. The link is gonna stay up there if you want to come up and have a respectful conversation. You can do so.
Now,
All right.
yeah. So,
Go ahead.
can I say something about that Princella woman?
Yes, please.
Very interesting. She's actually on the come up. It seems like too now.
Oh yeah, she's doing really well over there.
She's very interesting person. Um, with a lot of talking. She has this thing where like she kind of like has this thing where like we know men are sexual by nature, and we you know, but she takes that to like this hyperbolic where every decision a man makes has some sexual reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh well, men only want marriage so they can control a woman, control what have her to himself, and all this stuff. Even though the benefits for marriage will go for men and women as well. It's not just as men just want to marry women so they can control their box and all this stuff, have it to themselves.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then she had something where she talked, I don't know if she was talking to you or somebody, where she had like, oh, well, if men and women had their separate worlds, men would be trying to R each other and all this stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a minute, they actually did that before. They had women in I don't know if it was in the United States, they had women on one island and men on the other.
Bear
and men
Grylls.
were doing fine, and then women had to be rescued from the Coast Guard and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Men weren't attacking each other, trying to get each other's butt. Like that's what she's narrowed men to that. Men have created inventions, machines, electronics, and somehow she's tied men to this. Everything is sexually motivated. And it's like, what? Where are you getting all this from?
I don't
she takes it to the
understand.
next level. She takes that one little part about our sexual drive and makes everything that we do a sexual reason or something. That's what I kind of got from it. I'm like, I don't know where this is going.
But here's the thing, man. Don't women have a sex drive too?
Yeah. Listen to the music.
Right. Glorilla, anybody?
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on.
Cardi B, anybody? Meg Thee Stallion, anybody? It's gotten so bad to they can't even make any songs other than that. That's all they can do.
But here's the funny part. When Themis did make that reference to those women, but he said, well, just leave them out of what I'm trying to say. No. I don't know if did you remember when he said that?
Yeah.
He was like, well, yeah, you got them over there, city girls and stuff. No. Because if you'll make a reference to you'll make a reference to T.I. Did he make a reference to T.I.?
Yeah. He tried to say, don't you think T.I. Black
Wait a
man
minute.
is the reason why King is. Yeah. I mean, it got to the point to where it was.
That's my favorite rapper too, by the way. But still,
yeah. Shout out to the King of the South.
That's my favorite rapper, man.
Yeah,
I love
back
T.I.
when rappers were rappers, man. You understand?
Yeah.
But the thing he was trying to say, T.I. is a black man, and he's the reason why King is doing what he's doing. And are you trying to say that it's better to have any black man in the home than to have a good black man in the home? That's
that good black man trap he tried to lay for you. He was trying to set a trap for you so good. He wanted you to say basically it's just good to have a black man at home. He was ready. He was trying to. You didn't fall for that, but he was trying to get you to say that because we had a similar argument.
Right. Because
he tried to get you to say that.
Your boy
oh
is
yeah,
educated over here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And then the fact of it is, I do this because I really, really have a passion in the heart to see us come back together, man. Because this gender war is not doing us any good. We could be so much more powerful as a people and a community together. But instead of getting us together, all they want to do is tear it down. Like I actually went over there in good faith, thinking that we about to
You ain't gonna
have,
get it.
yeah, and it wasn't that at all. And then when I did come up, um, when he said I would advise you not to read the chat, I already knew what time it was. I was like,
Yeah, like I said, they literally said,
oh.
look at this community tab. He looking kind of suspicious in one of the pictures. I was like, really? We're going there now? It was bound to happen.
Well, wait, your community tab or my
No,
community
yours.
tab?
They were talking. I saw one of them said, "Oh, y'all look at this community tab. He looking kind of sweet or something." Even though Themis is, I mean, well, I mean, you're shaming that part, but you got your host that you love so much.
Now see, here's the thing. He's a part of the and whatever you want to do with your life, that's fine. Y'all
Yeah.
do that. I'm not here to judge that. But my issue is with black people, black women in particular, that you black women will ride for a homosexual male, black male, all day long, but then they will try to diss or put down the next black man with saying that he's homosexual.
Yeah.
That's an insult to your friend.
Yeah. And then they be they be up there lying. Like I be hearing like, "Oh, Themis, I went on your Instagram. I saw your picture of you in that swimsuit. Ooh, I was ready to attack. You wasn't about to do nothing to him. Stop it." It's like, oh, Themis, you're such a great example of this. Well, then date him. Why none of y'all dating him?
Mm-hmm.
He saw I heard him on. He was talking to Pink Pill. Pink Pill and him were having a discussion about black women dating in college and stuff. And she asked him, "Yeah, I would love to hear your experiences on dating, on dating in college." He didn't say anything about it. He talked about all the women in their dating experiences. Like, "Oh, I have friends that were looking for a black man in college, and all they could find was white." Well, wait a minute. Black men, lawyers and stuff in college. Well, they had you. Why didn't nobody dating you?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't like to get personal, but at some point, I got to figure out what your dog in this fight is. You know, what are you coming here to do? It's like somebody who doesn't vote, but they're super critical of one side, but they don't vote either way. It's like, what is your dog in this fight? You're here to start a fire. You don't get anything out of this for yourself personally. You don't have any lived experiences as far as that you share, which helps a lot to even talk about men and women dating, black men and women dating. You don't talk about your past black women dating. You do a lot of studies and data, and he had a lot of stuff he was talking about. Yeah, there's data on this, and I didn't hear him say what the data was when he was talking to you. He had something about like it was at the 3. I don't know if you can upload it. It was like the 3 hour 4 minute mark. He's talking about there was this report about black women feeling abandoned or something. He never cited that report. He just said there's a report out there, and it was like, well, what's the report? He just said there was reports of these numbers, and I'm like, okay, well, what's the report? You didn't say what the report was.
Right. I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing because it was something that he said that he was going to send me, and I never did.
I bet you ain't get it yet.
Yeah, I never did get it. I mean, it didn't look like it was when he flashed up on the screen. It didn't look like it was, official or whatever. But I never did get it. Let me see if I can. You got the timestamp.
I got a couple of timestamps. It was at the 3 hours and 4 minute mark. He said something about a report. I would like to start at I would like to start at the 3 minutes, 2 minutes, just kind of break it down though.
Let me find it here. I thought I had it queued up already, but I didn't.
Because I started at the 3 minute, 2 minute mark. That's kind of when you guys got started. The 3 hours and 2 minutes. 3 hours, 2 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah, somebody earlier said something about me being late, in which I was late, and I apologized.
CP times and all of us. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, I was ill that day.
I know.
But you said 3 minutes and what? 3 hours and what?
Well, I wanted. He asked you this bad faith question at the 3 hour mark. He said like black men fall for integration, and well, he made this weird concept where he said, oh well, the civil rights movement was had majority more black men in it, so therefore black men in it were fought for welfare. So was it a lack of foresight? That lack of foresight, bad faith thing he asked you?
Yeah, that I
Like,
didn't.
oh, they should have known it was coming. Like what?
Yeah, I didn't. Right, I really didn't. I really didn't understand the question.
It was like, why did
Really.
they see that coming? You know, and you know, they should have seen that coming.
And then
Like, what?
here's another thing that they do. Where's your wife at? You stay on somebody's live talking about absolutely
Yazzie, come
nothing.
up, come on. I mean, this is your channel. I'm not trying to.
No, anybody. The link is pinned to the top. Anybody can come up.
They've been asking about my wife. My wife actually came, so here's the funny part, right? And my wife was mad about it too. So they started basically, we got on this thing about educated women, right? When I went on this channel one time. And so I told them like my wife's a CNA.
Mm.
So they got on this thing, oh, your wife don't exist and all that stuff. So my wife, first of all, like I came on, right?
Mm.
And maybe he was being a little tongue in cheek a bit, but like it was still kind of like weird. He like asked my wife, like, oh, are you homeless? My wife already don't want to be there. So he's already asking like the questions pissing my wife off.
Wow.
It's like, oh, are you homeless? Like, and she's like, she's not feeling it. And he kind of like, oh, well, oh, his wife's kind of like not taking this, not really feeling this at all. So yeah, dude, you asked my wife, she's homeless. Were you homeless before you met? Was she homeless before I met her? So basically,
it's trying to insinuate what?
like, so here's the thing that I've noticed with a lot of the detractors online. If you're not making a certain amount of money as a black man, and you're kind of have these conversations with educated black women, you're intimidated by them, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're on their same level or higher, like me, I'm a narcissist.
Right, right.
So it's like I make the funds. Oh, you want to control women? Like I want to control my wife. I intentionally went to go find an uneducated woman so I could control her and manipulate her. They got no proof of any of this. They already don't believe I got a wife and all this stuff anyway. So it's like, so they were all some of them were demanding that I tell them my nursing license number. You need to tell us your nursing license number so we can look it up to verify you're a nurse. For what? Dude, it's wild. I'm like, yo, you clearly you cannot have a man with this kind of energy like this.
And that's the point.
These are his people, though. Yo.
That's the point. That's the point. I don't understand. Okay. We mentioned earlier that for a long time, men did not have any value in society unless you made a lot of money, right?
Yes.
If you ask most women, there's that word, the majority. If you ask the majority of women if the man has to make a certain amount of income, they will tell you yes. They don't want a man making $50,000, $40,000. It has to be 85 and up, six figures and up. That's a lot of money. A lot of people don't make that amount of money. But once a man builds up and works to get to that level, the schooling, the training, the networking, the long hours that you had to work those entry-level jobs to get there, well, guess what? Now that man wants a little something too. Yeah. Right? Now the fact is that regardless of what economic bracket that you're in as a woman, a lot of the women now are not qualifying to be the type of woman that those men say that they want. Yes. So now those men had a pick of the litter because 80 or 90% of the women want 10% of the men. Yes. That's a fact.
Now, Mr. JD, I can give you the inside scoop as probably in the most women-dominated job of all time as a nurse. I work overnights and I talk to these women all the time. Now, these black women I work with, they're great to work with. As you know, they got my back, they do everything like that. But based off how they are at work still and what they tell me about their life experience, barely any of them are wives. And
Mhm.
I'm not even talking about just wives in but they're not wives in mindset. So I would say, like, when I talk to a couple of them, this nice girl, she's got 3 kids, 3 different baby daddies. And she said she won't settle. She's not going to settle. And it's stuff where, like, I heard on, like,
I'm
because
a
a lot of
kid
stuff
too.
I heard on Kevin Samuels. I was like, yo, they cannot be like this. This is just more of the show and all that stuff. And I would go to work and I would kind of kind of ask them certain things about, like, that kind of stuff. I would ask the women I work with, like, oh, if he makes certain money, as long as he has potential, that kind of thing. Well, as long as he wants to make more money later, like,
Right. That's
they
the
will legit
thing.
say that stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you that the women I work with, the one majority of them that are who are not married, they're not dating anybody. They're just working, picking up shifts, going on trips, and that's it. Got about 4 or 5 different jobs because they're working like PRN. That's more like as needed. So they're just picking up shifts at 5 different hospitals and just working. They're not dating anybody. And then one girl, and they all complain, and then all of them say, "Well, I'll keep finding all these men I gotta take care of."
It's that
But
energy.
yeah,
It's that energy. I literally heard a story. It was, I think it was either on the Shade Room or Spiritual World or something. You know how they put those posts up there like that. It was
yeah,
one guy that this might have been somebody telling me like in real life. But anyway, uh, the woman was saying, "I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need a man." Da 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 da. So the guy got with her, and he wasn't trying to do anything. He was using her car, not putting
yeah. I
gas
saw that
in
all the
it,
time at
and
work, all the time.
yeah, and just just mooching off of her. And
Yeah,
then when she finally asked him why, she was like, "Hey, what's up with this right here?" He was like, "Well, you said you were strong and independent, so I figured I could just."
yeah,
When you put that kind of energy out there, those are the type of men that you attract, right?
yes,
Because it's more so about being agreeable. You understand?
yes. It is. It is. I
What?
like.
Stop the show! Stop the show! Stop the show! Stop
Uh
the show! Stop the show! Stop the show!
oh. What happened? I realized I've been much happier and better off since he's been gone, and he was, by side says, a good man. Wow, 10 years. Today marks 10 years since my husband died, and I realize I've been much happier and better of a person since he's been gone. Not better off, but better of a person. And he was societal standards of a good man. You're saying this to mean what? So you're saying societal standards he was a good man. You're saying by your standards he wasn't? Because I still don't know what a good man is. Because they use a good man, good husband, good marriage. They won't define what that is though. They just say it. What do you think about her comment, Mr. JD? It's sad. I'm speechless about it because I don't know what to do with it. It's like you're saying this to say what? You know? I know you got to take some time to digest that.
This is men. This is what we're up against.
Yes.
A lot of these ladies that are over here,
Wow.
they really feel like that you would be they would be better off if you were just gone.
Hmm.
I lost my father at a young age. That was one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with, even now.
Yeah.
And for somebody to, I,
Yeah. It doesn't make it.
this is
Yeah.
sad. Y'all
Sad.
y'all y'all are being manipulated. This is a spirit of witchcraft,
Yeah.
and y'all need to be delivered. That's all I'm gonna say. We y'all need to be delivered. Orange pill. We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop, man. Um, will you come back?
Yeah. You said, will I come back?
Yeah, will you come back for another show? We'll do a part 2 to
Oh,
this.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I guarantee these. This is, but just real quick, it's funny how, you know, and I'm pretty sure this person is a Themis fan.
Mhm.
Nothing to say about this stuff. Nothing to say about Cynthia G either, who he
Right,
allows to be on the show.
and I was
Who
gonna
allows
get
to
to
be on the
that,
show.
and
But he's
that's what I
questioning you
was gonna
about
get to that.
legal. Yeah, and he wanted to question you about lead attorney. Question this. How about that?
Cynthia G literally said to
Literally,
abort,
no, out of context or nothing.
not out of
Okay.
context, to abort black male babies.
Mm-hmm.
And now you see this comment here on the screen. Y'all let this breathe.
Yeah.
Man, this is what we up against
Yes, sir.
when we're trying to bring people together.
And I bet you her life is no peace at all.
Yeah, and
And this
lady,
Kiki person's been just a mess.
lady, you don't know me. Number one, you don't know me at all. And if y'all have a problem with us trying to get the community, just leave.
Yeah.
Just leave. Man, let me. I gotta put this back.
Yeah, that you can't. You got that. That might need to be a community tab, sir. If you can.
It will. Listen, Orange Pill, you got my email.
Yes, sir.
We'll,
When do you
we'll,
want
we'll
to? Oh, well, we'll talk later.
yeah, email me, man. I gotta get off. Y'all, it's been a good conversation. Uh, Orange Pill, thank you so much for coming up.
No problem.
Y'all, we out. That's
We
it.
out. Yeah.